Even the world's toughest critic finds himself on the ropes every now and again. And whenever that happens, I make the hot tag to the dummy. Go to www.dubby.gg today, enter promo code Lucha Review for your 10% discount on the best energy drink on the planet today.
There is no hot tag tonight, Luchadors, because in this main event, I am challenging you. I am challenging you to test your luck and roll the dice in Talisman, a game that has transported adventurers into worlds of monsters, magic, and imagination for 40 years. Tonight we transported it to the Lucha Review, so let's get this show going.
Celebrating its 40th anniversary this year is Talisman, one of the greatest tabletop games you may not have heard of. In this role-playing game, players select one of several unique characters and adventure through the middle and outer regions to further develop their physical and/or magical strength. The ultimate goal is to survive the challenges within the inner region to access the Crown of Command and use its magic to eliminate all other players. When the player feels ready for this challenge, a talisman will be required, hence the name of the game. Obtaining one can be easy and done in several ways. Sometimes you'll be lucky enough to pull one out of the adventure deck. But if you're like me and have to work twice as fucking hard for what little you have in your life, you can visit the Warlock's Cave, accept a quest, and collect a talisman upon completion. Along the way, you'll encounter wild animals, monsters, spirits, and other enemies. Defeat them, and they become trophies that you can turn in to enhance your strength or craft, thus making you a more powerful character. You'll also encounter followers who will join your cause and bolster your character, as well as strangers who are more determined to fuck you over than your human opponent. Like the Witch, for example, who will turn an unlucky player into a toad for 3 turns. If that should happen, the player will lose all items, trophies, and followers acquired up to that point, and have to survive the game board with a strength and craft of 1. It's heavily discouraging, not to mention highly fucking frustrating. But in Talisman, no player is ever truly safe from harm, and you just never know what might happen because I have won this game in toad form. All it takes is one reckless player, and this is why you might have heard a friend refer to Talisman as that toad game. If you're comfortable with testing the strength of your relationship with your human opponent, feel free to cast one of the game's many harmful spells. If you have the right spell, you yourself can turn your friends into toads, steal their items or followers, or otherwise slow their successes down to a stop. Beware, however, because the Crown of Command is not required to win a game of Talisman. If your priority is to piss off other players, they can just as easily turn their focus on you and keep attacking you until you are out of lives. Run out of lives and your game of Talisman is over, and the game can continue on like this until only one player remains. Just like World of Warcraft, Talisman offers everything you'd expect to see in a fun RPG, whether we're talking about unique characters with special talents, quests, or player versus player. And, like most fun RPGs, Talisman has a plethora of expansions with additional characters and game boards, as well as boss fights or special events to replace the Crown of Command and non-playable characters that can help or harm you. These expansions can be omitted or included as desired, thus making your Talisman experience different with every new game you play. My favorite is the Blood Moon, which steals a little bit from Castlevania 2. In Blood Moon, the concept of time is introduced to the game, and as the game changes from day to night and back again, the strength of your enemies will fluctuate. Meanwhile, a werewolf patrols the board, and if he catches you, he can kill you, turn you into a lycanthrope, or maybe even help you depending on what you roll. 20 years after a dear friend introduced me to Talisman, I can easily see why it's been in print for 40 years, because I can't be the only one who can't get enough of it. There's even a Batman version now, in which you can play one of your favorite villains and battle your way around Arkham Asylum until you whoop Batman's ass and escape into Gotham City.
I whoop Batman's ass!
Talisman's rules, characters, art, and battles take everything I've ever enjoyed in a fantasy video game and set it all on a table. No table? No problem. The digital version of Talisman is a perfect adaptation and can be played on Steam, video game consoles, and smartphones. Perhaps this is the game's future. Perhaps physical copies will soon become collector's items valued at hundreds of dollars. The digital version, with all expansions, costs just under $60, however, and with Christmas rapidly approaching, now is a great time to get a game going with friends and family. Whatever the future holds for Talisman, one thing is clear. A game this big and this fun belongs in the Lucha Review Hall of Fame, and maybe one day I'll have a character fashioned after me. Subscription is free. And be sure to share this video and treat yourself to some Lucha Review swag at my Redbubble store. Shirts, buttons, stickers, and other fun items are waiting for you in the link below. Thanks for the hot tag, and I'll see you next time.